All right, guys, welcome to the video. For today, we're going to talk about the new AI and sort of the pros and cons to it, kind of how it works. Is it worth it? Is it better? Stuff like that. So, the primary difference between this AI and the AI of Farming Simulator 22 is with the old AI, you would come up to the field, right? You'd hit circle, and it would just take off in a straight line. This new AI, it has an option to pre-map the field and actually get every square inch of it, which is pretty nice. So you hold circle or whatever button it is on PC or console, but on PS5 you hold circle and it opens up this menu, and you have the option to adjust the working width. So this would more or less change how wide the rows are. The auto is how big your harvester is. So if you want to get every square inch, you do this. If you want to get some overlap, or let's just say you're trying to pair it up with another piece of machinery, then you only want to do that, like say you're cultivating and planting at the same time, and your cultivator's 6 meters and your planter's 4. Maybe you just do 4 meters, and then you can run them simultaneous. Things like that. But overall, don't really mess with that too much. The number of headlands, this is useful because the headlands are the 2 blue rows that go around it, and this will allow the harvester or whatever's working they go around the field twice before it goes down the middle. Super helpful because it'll stop running into these darn telephone poles. And you can have it start. You can have it not work the headlands at all. You can have it work the headlands. You can have it start with the headlands or the up and down, and you can just have it alternate lines too if you wanted for some reason. Not really sure why you'd want to do that. The other cool thing is the steering assist, which basically what this does here is if I turn it on, see how it has this line? It basically forces you to drive in line. You kind of lock into it, and it'll guide you through it, which is it's pretty handy. So it basically keeps you straight. It's like a real life GPS on tractors, but that's super nice. There's no downside to that. I quite like that. But let's talk about the AI first. That's kind of what I'm here for. So obviously the pro of this is it is really, really, really good for having your harvester just do a field, right? If you want to just let the AI do everything, you just walk in here, you hit select, and it will do that whole field, and it will very rarely get stuck. Okay, don't get me wrong, that is super nice. The downside is kind of twofold, and this is where I wish you could choose to do the old version of AI or do this, is with the old AI, it was really easy to set up kind of a chain where you let the harvester go down and he'd do 1 or 2 up and downs, right? And then you take your cultivator here and you'd have him follow, and he'd go 1 or 2 behind him, and then you let him go 2 or 3, and then you get your planter and you go 2 or 3, and it would just kind of go in a wave. It doesn't really work anymore because when they do the headlands, it doesn't follow nice, and you're gonna have overlap, especially if the working width's different, and you just can't quite get them to line up as nicely as you used to be able to, right? So, it's not a bad thing. It's just different. And I do wish sometimes I could utilize the old AI for that reason. But with this new AI, it is absolutely elite at just letting it go to work. It's not necessarily super efficient, like as you'll see in this corner. It's getting a little funky, and it's just kind of driving around. This isn't me driving, this is the AI. But it will kind of stall in corners a little bit, but it's not going to get stuck like it used to. I have seen it get stuck sometimes, especially if you have a trailer that doesn't turn real well on a tractor that doesn't turn real well. Sometimes it tries to spin around and it can't. It's just going to get stuck. I have seen that happen, but it's not too bad. The other downside to this version of AI as opposed to the last one is it's not nearly as useful if you're, like what I used to like to do is you start harvesting. This is me driving now again, so I'm in this. I used to like how I could just drive and then, I got a phone call. All right, I'll hit circle, let it take off. It doesn't quite work the same anymore because it like has a pre-mapped route and it gets a little funky. It's a little harder to kind of take over and let the AI do its thing. So when I hit circle here, you'll see it gets funky on me. I don't know why, because it's so precise and you can't drive as precise as the AI. It has to get back on that perfect line, and it just doesn't work. And if you're using steering assist, right? Let's just say you're using steering assist here, so I'm going to turn it on. I'm going to turn that down. So I'm locked into this. Now, if I wanted to have AI do this, because, I got that phone call or I got to go let the dog out or whatever it is, I have to stop harvesting. I have to hold circle. I have to go to AI worker. I have to hit select, and then I can do it. Which, it's not a big deal, but it's not as convenient as the old way. So it kind of depends on how much you want the AI to do everything. If you want the AI to just do the field, it's great. If you want the AI to supplement your work, not so great. If you want to use the guided assist, it's awesome. If you want to actually maximize profits, I feel like you could actually do it a little better with the old AI, simply because of being able to like stagger them, and you could just wipe out fields. And if you got fields big enough, you could turn that speed up, and you could just harvest indefinitely. So it is cool. I do like it. Is it better? Yeah, but I do wish they had access to the old AI too. So that's kind of my thoughts on it. Let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to like, favorite, subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys. Anyways, peace out.